I've sent over 2,000 LinkedIn DMs in the last 3 months. That's resulted in hundreds of booked sales calls and over $100,000 in revenue for my clients and my agency. Now, most people think LinkedIn outreach is dead or too spammy to work, but after sending this many messages, I know exactly what works. And in this video, I'm going to break down the exact 5-step DM framework that has gotten us 35+% response rates, how you can implement this for yourself, and how you can use it to start booking qualified sales calls consistently every single month from LinkedIn. Let's get into it. So before I actually get into these 5 messages and reviewing a few of the DM conversations I've actually had that booked calls, I wanted to dive into a bit of our core philosophy, how this actually works. Because on LinkedIn, you can go one of 2 ways, and one will get you, 10 times better results than the other. LinkedIn is a completely different game than cold email. On LinkedIn, you get one inbox and you get 800 connection requests per month, which is your cap essentially. So basically you're going to be getting around 400 qualified conversations max per month. And that's if you get a 50% acceptance rate on your connection requests. So instead of sending scripts treating it like cold email, there's a different approach on LinkedIn that works 100 times better and will get you 35% plus reply rates. This is a lot more manual, but it works 100 times better because on LinkedIn, what you sacrifice in quantity, you gain back tenfold in quality and specificity. So you have to take advantage of the personalization LinkedIn gives you, and that's the entire philosophy around this. All right, so this is message 1 of our 5-step framework, and it's super, super simple. Hey, name. There are a few other ways to do this. You could say, hey, name, interesting, I've done this before. What up, name, how's it going? But essentially trying to stand out from the other people, sending scripts, sending copy and paste DMs from, an automation. And one of the best ways to do that is because 99% of the automations out there sending DM will be hi, name, or hi, like what you have going on at company name. And we want to stand out from that. We want to convey some spontaneity here. So you can say, hey, name is solid. It works, but if you want to go, hey, or name, or interesting, what up, name? These are things that AI is not doing. No one's doing in their automation. So this is important. And another thing with all these messages, you're gonna type hey, name, or name, and then send, and then the message 2 send, and the message 3 send. That's another thing that throws off. That sounds more or feels more human. It's more spontaneous because the automations out there on the market are not sending one at a time. They're sending everything in a chunk. So this also stands out. That's also super important. Make sure you send after every single message. So that's message 1, super simple. Message 2 is our restrained compliment / offer rephrase. And this is where we can go a few different ways with our messaging. Because I want you to remember these are frameworks. These are the opposite of scripts. This is not a script. I don't want you copy and pasting things. The reason this works so well and gets such a high reply rate is because of how human it feels, how spontaneous it feels. So you can kind of change this up depending on the prospect, who they are, what you see in their profile, what you notice, what you can make compliments or observations on. So we can either do both of these, restrained compliment and an offer rephrase, or do one of them. I'm going to show you what they are. So first, what is a restrained compliment? A restrained compliment is essentially just taking what they do and rephrasing it. So, you run a cold email agency? Interesting. Or, you run ads for DTC brands? Interesting. That's literally, it just shows, it's not anything crazy, but it shows you are looking at their profile, you understand what they do. And also AI's automations usually don't, in the DMs, they usually don't do an offer rephrase. It feels redundant, but it's super important to actually show the prospect you understand what they do and you read through their profile. So if someone is a D2C marketing agency, I'm going to be like, interesting. D2C brands? Interesting. I'm going to rephrase their offer in something that isn't word for word what they have in their headline. That's the offer rephrase. I just realized I went over offer rephrase before restrained compliment. But yeah, that's an offer rephrase, just rephrasing the prospect's offer. Wait, so you do email marketing for e-com, newsletter growth, You run SaaS ads for SaaS, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, this helps you get super clear, controls the narrative, sets the stage for negotiation. It helps you potentially pry pain points down the line. They can answer this question yeah, we do. And that opens up the door for you to pry pain points. Restrained compliment. So this is super, super important. And 99% of people mess this up. I used to mess this up, and it's why I book no calls as a beginner. You want to compliment them on something specific and genuine, but keep it super restrained. When you say restrained, I mean 4 to 6 out of 10 level of enthusiasm. So instead of man, I love what you're doing with XYZ company. You guys are crushing it. I love, like, that's so cool. You want to be like, oh, I dig what you're doing at company. Company looks neat, by the way. Oh, your newsletter, it looks like it's doing well. 20K subs is solid. So a few things here. See how restrained, like it's not, I'm not glazing them. We don't want to come across as someone who is very beginner, someone who hasn't been there, done that. We want to come across as very competent. We want to set that frame early on. Like, okay, 20, but we also don't want to be rude and negative. Like, we don't want to say, decent or it's all right. Like, we don't want to go that far, but we want to, solid or neat or interesting. Those are words I love to use in the DM. So newsletter looks like it's doing well. 20K subs is solid. See how, this is probably my best example. See how specific, like if you go on the profile, they have 20K subs, you see they have a newsletter, compliment them on the specific number of subs. Specificity is so important in the initial DM because it shows, okay, once again, I went through their profile. Here's another example, be specific. The more specific you can be, the better. Instead of saying, good job, try 2019 Coca-Cola case study, looks interesting, 37 million generated. It's solid. See how specific 2019 Coca-Cola, 37 million. And then it's solid. Like, see how specific, it immediately signals, okay, this is probably not a robot. Like an AI won't get this granular. They won't tell these, specific things from a profile about section, etc. So yeah, that is a restrained compliment. Quickly here, if you are looking to turn LinkedIn into your most reliable sales engine for your business, starting to book 3 to 5 calls per week with LinkedIn content and DMs. We are taking on a few clients this month. If that is of interest, go in the link in the description, book a call with us. We'll see if it's a fit. And yeah, we'll take care of your content, DMs, everything. But yeah, back to the video. Message 3, man, if you take one thing away from this video / doc, if you want this doc, by the way, comment down below. I'll send it to you. But yeah, this is the biggest thing. Authority building observations. This is the key to getting people to actually want to reply to you. And what is a authority building observation? Because it's kind of sounds weird, but it's not bragging or being arrogant. It's more displaying your competency as an operator. It's subtly hinting to the prospect that you know exactly where they're come from, what their pain points are. You know the industry that they're in very well, and you're close friends with people. You're connected to people in that space. You want to convey this very subtly in your first message, and essentially it gives the prospect a reason to reply. If you show, oh, you're in the cold email space, no way. My good friend, XYZ, they're crushing it right now in cold email, sending 1 million emails per month. I'm good friends with them, by the way. Yeah, like telling them I'm good friends with people in the space. So, okay, Aiden knows what he knows people. Okay, this might be worth my time to reply to him. And that's super important in the initial DM. So here, really good example. No, interesting. XYZ looks neat, know a bit about the space. Actually, my sister does around 1 million in GMV a month as an influencer for brands. Might shoot this her way if it makes sense. This is an authority building observation right here. My sister does 1 million in GMV a month as an influencer. See how subtly I kind of convey that? Like, I'm not like bragging, but I'm just saying, oh, but actually my sister does 1 million in GMV. She's in the TikTok space. This is the authority building conversation. This gives him a reason to reply. So yeah, this is the biggest thing. Here's another one. Funny how much the outbound space is evolving. I'm actually in a big group with a bunch of guys killing it in the space. This relationship I have with Nick Abraham, Matt Lucero, etc., it rubs off on me really well. It shows, okay, they're killing it in the space. Like, man, like Aiden must be, at least somewhat competent. Like, this rubs off and Nick Abraham, these are big names that a lot of people in the cold email know. So this is another authority builder that, my relationship with these big names is rubbing off on me. Once again, giving the prospect another reason to reply. So yeah, these are authority builder conversations, super, super important. Every message, even down the line, once you get a reply, needs to have some sort of what's in it for me. Message 4, ambiguous question. This is key for making sure the conversation actually eventually leads to a book call. We don't want to all just be personal buddy with them. We want to have some sort of like relevance that traces back to the sale eventually. And the best way to do this without sounding super salesy and like turning that alarm on, because everyone has a sales alarm in their head. If they don't know you and they immediately see, okay, this guy's trying to sell me, like they're not going to reply to you. So you want to give them a question that hints that can kind of pry pain points and get them to open up a bit about their business, but you don't want it to sound that alarm. So an example of this, instead of a super direct message like, are you looking for LinkedIn lead generation services? Like this is a salesy question. You might be like, oh, your content looks solid, conveying spontaneity. Oh, specificity as well. Your content looks really good. Conveying spontaneity. Wait, has LinkedIn been a big focus then or no? Super ambiguous, and this will help them open up, about their potential pain points. Yeah, but it's taking so much time. Like, yeah, it is, but it hasn't been driving leads. Oh, why isn't it driving leads? Then you can bounce off that. So super key here. Message 5, last one, super important, personal connection. The biggest one here, and personal connection just is what it sounds like. It's just making something personal to them. Like, are they from the same hometown? Do you guys play the same sport? Did the friends of yours go to their college? Did you travel to their home country? And that's why LinkedIn's so great, because they have a location, they have people post stuff about their personal lives. There's so much to go off of here, and there's so much potential to make a connection there, and therefore give the prospect just another reason to reply that isn't related to the sale. So if someone is from San Diego, I'm like, oh, no way. I grew up, 10 minutes inland of Encinitas. My parents lived there. Like, I love San Diego is awesome. Like, America's finest city, whatever. And then if someone is from San Diego, they like it there as well. That might be the reason they reply. Sometimes I get a reply just from this message. And then this can be literally anything you can find on their profile. So it strengthens relationships, increases your memorability. It opens the door for future interaction, like I said, and it helps your message stand out in the inbox. This is important. The last message you send in the inbox is actually the one people will see when they're scrolling through their inbox. So if the first message they see is like talking about, it isn't talking about the sale, it's talking about like their college. Like, oh, you went to OSU? My good buddy over there is in Pike. Like, no way. They're going to see that and be like, oh, okay, like I should maybe open. So this will get your DM opened more, actually. Here's some examples. How is LA treating you? Whatever. I'm here in SD, can't deal with the traffic. You're in the UK, head out there in June to meet some friends. Super specific. Once again, Bristol and London in June. Drinking culture, like super specific as well. New Hampshire. I love this one. This book to call. Was up there back in 22 for a Dartmouth basketball recruiting camp. One of the most gorgeous places I've ever been. The lakes, trees, leaves, etc. Specificity. Being more specific, the better. Like, all the time. So this is the entire framework. Once again, message 1, send, message 2, send, etc., etc. Now that we've gone over that, I'm going to quickly go over one real life example that booked a call for us, going like with the entire framework we just went over. This was an interesting conversation. I'm going to walk you guys through it all, why everything worked and why we booked in this call. So, hey, Greg, very neat with you done with VC. Wait, this is his company name. I don't know what it's called, but VC is an acronym for his company. This is super important. Like small things like this, instead of saying, because a content or a script that an AI pulls would probably spell out the entire company name. So it's essentially offer rephrase. So it's essentially, it just books you a ride via voice chat. It's like a SaaS instead of going on an app. Interesting. Offer rephrase. Interesting. I'm conveying more spontaneity. I'm thinking about, interesting. On your LinkedIn profile right now, by the way, are you getting through these taxi companies on here? Once again, super ambiguous question. We went over this. This softens on your LinkedIn profile right now. That shows relevance. Hey, I'm actually on your profile. And then that softens the ambiguous question. Are you getting through to these taxi companies on here? Like, is your content even converting? Oh, you went to University of Vermont. Once again, UV, spontaneity. I had the chance to say in Vermont, spelled it wrong, back in 21 at a Dartmouth camp. We went over this example. Super specific, works really well. And then this guy blamed me, are you an Indian, pretending to be a college student? And then I won't get into like the psychology of actually turning this into a book call because it's really important. But yeah, message is odd. You'll get that. I mean, that's why no one is doing this. Like he says your message is odd. Yep, usually for an Indian trying to be an American, a lot of fake profiles. And yeah, I won't go over this like I said, but eventually he gets interested. He's looking for a marketer. Here, let's do this. Book this call with me and we'll chat. Done. So that's super important to understand, is all these little things, just combining all the frameworks I just taught you. That's how you book calls. That's how you stand out in the inbox. This works better than anything, any sort of automation, cold email thing. Now, if you want us to handle this entire system for you and just fill your calendar with qualified calls, I've actually put a link in the description to book a call with me. We'll walk through your business, see if/how this is a fit. And if it is, we'll implement it for you. You'll start booking calls with 30 minutes to an hour of your time per month. But yeah, if you got value from this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.